Ryder, tell me about the satellite you found.
Director, what are you talking about?
My alert identified a ZK resource tracker. They're emergency tech, full of overrides so they can bypass protocol. They were designed by Dr. Zoe Jean Kennedy. She disappeared with the Exiles. If her tech has shown up, that could give someone a backdoor to steal from your outposts.
Pretty extreme to set up a personal alert. Why do that?
A lot of Dr. Kennedy's projects were unofficial.
But you backed them, like these trackers?
I don't want some asshole using my access codes to cut a backdoor into our resources, or Tan blaming me for it. But I also want to know what happened to her.
Why were these trackers allowed to bypass protocols?
They're supposed to be hubs, to rapidly track and pull resources if lives are at stake somewhere. That's why they weren't deployed. Tan didn't like anyone bypassing his rubber stamp.
If this satellite is new, how has it kept up with our security measures?
That's a very good question.
What was Dr. Kennedy's role in the initiative?
She designed the orbital beacons, forward stations, and half the kit in the Tempest. She'd ram an upgrade through before the requisition was on Tan's desk. Dr. Kennedy disappeared along with the Exiles. That was a big loss.
She disappeared with the Exiles, but you aren't calling her one?
She sympathized, but we'd never let an expert like that go. She was vital. But in the chaos, a lot of things, and people, went missing.
If we have to find the tech or the person, where do we begin?
You got a sliver of data from the first tracker. With more scans, maybe Suvi can assemble a point of origin. Obviously, these trackers are being deployed where initiative tech is concentrated. That means outposts. I'd bet there's more trackers in outpost systems. That's where you search for whoever's doing this.
And when we find them?
They're stealing our resources. My concern is Dr. Kennedy, her tech, their lives. In that order.
Point indicated by the ZK trackers.
Right. Addison's request. Let's see if this helps us find her missing scientist.
Damn it. The shuttle's just a relay. But I think we can get in their feeds. Hold on.
Signal's through. Ready for coordinate transferring. Who the fuck? We've been found. Deadhead the comms.
Here we go again. I'm the Pathfinder!
A Pathfinder? One finally showed?
Harlan, stop talking.
Is that Dr. Kennedy? Are you okay? Director Addison is concerned about you and your tech.
Keep them talking, Ryder. Tracing.
All I want is to stop the stealing. I have outposts of people trying to start their lives.
Outpost starting lives, huh?
Let them see, Harlan.
They just forwarded Dr. Kennedy's medical profile. Ryder!
She's pregnant. That woman is pregnant.
That woman knows full well the state she's in.
You are really pregnant. What happened?
When a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, they don't let humanity die out. You're with Addison? Well, she fell in line with Tan, said we couldn't add new mouths until we were stable. But this wasn't about waiting until we could afford a house. We were dying. So I left, with enough meds for Harlan and I to get off the blockers.
How far along? Dr. Kennedy, how long?
8 months, give or take.
We're not going back. You're not getting my tech. We'll be fine without you. Tell Addison. Fuck it, don't tell her anything. Kill it.
They flashed the core. Couldn't get a trace.
Addison will want to hear about this. And I've got questions for her. Director Addison, I have a sighting on your missing Dr. Kennedy and her trackers.
She's alive?
And 8 months pregnant.
Fucking hell.
She didn't disappear. Dr. Kennedy left to try and have a child. You really had no clue?
I knew she wanted us to fast-track the schedule, but we had no worlds. We were going to lose people. I wasn't going to watch babies die, too. Of all the stupid, irresponsible, selfish... She was always like this, even back on Earth. She talked me into this, and now we have to save her tail.
Wait, what did Dr. Kennedy talk you into?
She's an old university friend. We were catching up, and she mentioned a project she was training for.
The Andromeda initiative?
She'd still be here if I wasn't forced to tell her no a year ago.
Dr. Kennedy seems to have a group with her. Stealing aside, she has support.
How long will that last? She's the smartest person I know, but she jumps without looking. Ryder, we have 2 speeches banked for the first child in Andromeda. Trust me, you want the one for the good outcome.
What was the timetable for stopping the contraceptives everyone got before cryo?
No way to tell. It was to be determined.
You had to know that would frustrate people.
It was the only answer we could give. The alternative was more mouths and more death.
We know how to find her. We find more of her ZK trackers.
Hopefully you can draw them out by placing more outposts. If she hasn't changed the protocol.
She's 8 months. She may be distracted.
This is a complete shit show. Find them, Pathfinder. The first human child in Andromeda can't just disappear. Pathfinder, I have Dr. Kennedy on the channel. She is very tired, but alive.
And the baby?
Lungs like a banshee, and safe.
And now that you're back in the fold, it's the Initiative's job to keep you safe.
This all started with tech that could steal Initiative resources.
Dr. Kennedy has graciously offered to return her research, and any resources gained along the way.
I could always just purge all data.
No thank you. We'll keep things simple. You and your trackers all safely accounted for.
We fought off Ket and Rokar. Those threats won't just go away.
That's the Nexus way. Shut the doors and hope. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful as hell, but it won't be long before none of this matters. There's others out there. I was just furthest along. If you want us safe, make it all safe.
Prodromos is where we started our new lives. They'd love to welcome this one.
It's not too far, if you ever want to talk.
I haven't changed, Foster.
That's what I hoped you'd say.
You never said what name you chose. Maybe Pathfinder? Sara's good too.
No, it's David. David Edward, for an old friend. Goodbye, Ryder, and thank you.
Any word from Dr. Kennedy, now she's on Prodromos?
She's as difficult as she always was, which is how it should be. Andromeda isn't supposed to change everything.
You two seem very different.
I met Jean at a university bar. She was talking libertarian and drinking vodka slimes. I instantly hated her. An hour later, we were back-to-back fighting half a lacrosse team, and somehow she hadn't started it. I bet there's someone like that on your ship. They drive you crazy, but for some reason, you just click.
Oh. Yeah, some people just... yeah.
Then you understand. Life is so... safe without those kinds of people. Some might say better, but they're not in the Initiative.
Director Addison.
Pathfinder.
Yeul?
Yeah, that's me. Stanton Yeul. What can I do for the Pathfinder today?
Tell me about the 3 sabers.
Oh, shit.
Well, that reaction tells me all I need to know.
Look, I just didn't think anyone would find out about it, okay? It's something that ought to be left alone. We made a mistake.
Explain.
The new outposts, our supply routes, they needed protection. We couldn't rely on just you. I proposed that we'd save Nexus blood by hiring exiles to fight for us.
First time I've seen someone so coldly calculating and stupid in one shot.
It was a risk, sure, but I knew Cochran. We served together. I thought I could trust him. I became their commander, I armed them, I shared access to Prodromos' operations. And then they took their new toys and went rogue. Attacked people they were supposed to protect.
You know I have to report this. You conspired with Nexus enemies.
Who are you gonna report to? Addison? She signed off on it.
Addison? She knew?
She wasn't sure Ryder would work out as Pathfinder. She was desperate for options. So report it if you want. Addison knows any investigation's gonna dig up docs covered in her fingerprints. I have to get back to work. We've got an outpost to run here.
I know why you're here. Yeul told me to expect a visit. I hoped this blunder wouldn't come to light, but Heleus has a habit of dashing our hopes. Have the 3 sabers been eliminated, Pathfinder?
Their deaths don't make this okay.
I realize that, Ryder. A poor decision was made. People paid for it, but it's over. As far as everyone's concerned, the three Sabers acted on their own.
But they didn't, did they? Hey, Ryder.
Who the hell's this?
This is Vetra's sister, Sid.
Oh, you. I noticed you tried to get someone to look into the three Sabers.
So I was right, wasn't I? Someone on the Nexus was helping the three Sabers.
Yes, it was a mistake. We authorized a course of action that cost lives, but, like I said, it's over.
You have to tell people. If we made a mistake, we have to own it, right?
Who does that serve? It could damage relations with the Angara, spark another uprising.
It would be lying. Ryder, if you hide this, what else will you let them hide?
We're not taking tips on diplomacy from a teenager.
With all due respect, Director, Sid's right. Transparency is important for building trust. People need to know they can trust us, even when we screw up.
I'll make sure people hear about this.
Pathfinder, you're making a mistake.
Maybe, but at least I'm willing to acknowledge it.